Ever wondered how that delicious pizza slice you just ate turns into energy? Well, that's your digestive system at work. This marvel of nature is a complex network of organs, each playing a unique role in breaking down the food we eat into the nutrients our bodies need to survive and thrive. From the moment you take your first bite to the final exit, the digestive system is constantly in motion. It begins with your mouth and teeth working in harmony to mechanically break down food. Then there's the stomach, a powerful mixer that uses acids and enzymes to further refine what you've consumed. Beyond the stomach, your small intestine absorbs nutrients and passes them into your bloodstream, while your large intestine reclaims water and sends the leftovers to be expelled. So ready to dive into the fascinating journey of food inside your body? Let's start from the very beginning. The moment you take a bite, your digestive system kicks into action. Just like a well-oiled machine, the mouth is the first and crucial stage of digestion. It's not just about opening wide and chomping down on your favorite foods. There's a lot more happening behind the scenes. When you chew, your teeth break down the food into smaller pieces. This not only makes the food easier to swallow, but also increases the surface area for enzymes to work their magic. Speaking of magic, let's talk about the unsung hero of the digestive system: saliva. This clear liquid does more than just keep your mouth moist. It contains enzymes that begin the process of breaking down food, particularly starches and fats, right in your mouth. And it doesn't stop there. The act of chewing and the presence of saliva turn the food into a soft, moist ball called a bolus. The food is now a soft, moist ball ready to travel down the esophagus. From the mouth, our food takes a slide down a long tube. But how does it travel down? Picture this: you're standing at the top of a water slide. You need a push to get started, but once you do, the walls of the slide propel you all the way to the bottom. That's a bit like how food travels down the esophagus, our body's biological food pipe. Here's how it works. Once you swallow, the process of peristalsis begins. This is a series of wave-like muscle contractions that push food down the esophagus. It's like a gentle, rhythmic squeezing that propels your food along its journey. These contractions are so powerful that even if you were standing on your head, food would still make its way down. So, does the esophagus just passively let the food slide down? Absolutely not. It's an active participant in the digestive process, ensuring that everything goes smoothly. And just like that, our food has made its way to the stomach. Now, our food enters a muscular sac, the stomach. But what happens inside? Well, let's dive into the world of our stomach, a fascinating place where our food undergoes a transformative journey. This muscular sac, which can expand to accommodate around 1 liter of food, is a phenomenal mixer. It churns and grinds, turning your delicious meals into a paste-like substance called chyme. The stomach is a highly active organ, constantly contracting and relaxing, much like a washing machine. These movements help to physically break down the food, but that's not all. The stomach is also home to a potent cocktail of gastric juices, which play a crucial role in the chemical digestion of our food. One of the key components of these gastric juices is hydrochloric acid. This strong acid not only helps to further break down our food, but it also destroys any harmful bacteria that may have hitched a ride with our meals. Despite its corrosive nature, the stomach lining is well protected by a thick layer of mucus that prevents the acid from digesting the stomach itself. Enzymes also play a vital role in the stomach's digestive process. For instance, an enzyme called pepsin starts the protein digestion. This enzyme is actually produced as pepsinogen, an inactive form, by the stomach lining. It's the hydrochloric acid that activates it, turning it into pepsin, which then starts breaking down the proteins in our food. But of course, the stomach doesn't work alone. It's in constant communication with other parts of our body, like the brain and the endocrine system. They work together, regulating the release of gastric juices and the rate of stomach contractions, ensuring that our food is thoroughly mixed and digested. So, after spending about 4 hours in this mixing and marinating session, our food is transformed. it has been broken down, both physically and chemically, into a thick, soupy mixture. This process ensures that the nutrients in our food are in a form that our body can readily absorb. After a good mix in the stomach, our food is now a thick liquid ready for the next stage. Welcome to the longest part of our digestive system, the small intestine. Stretching to a whopping 20 feet or so in length, the small intestine is where the real magic happens. Here, the food you've eaten is broken down even further, allowing your body to absorb all the vital nutrients it needs to function. The first section of the small intestine, known as the duodenum, plays a crucial role. It's here that the food, now a semi-liquid substance called chyme, meets the digestive enzymes. These enzymes, produced by our pancreas, are like the key that unlocks the nutritional value in our food. They quickly get to work, breaking down the chyme into tiny molecules that our body can use. But the duodenum isn't working alone. It has some help from the liver and gallbladder. The liver produces bile, a yellowish-green liquid that helps to break down fats. This bile is stored in the gallbladder, ready to be released when needed. Once the chyme enters the duodenum, the gallbladder contracts, squeezing out the bile, which then mixes with the chyme, aiding in the digestion of fats. Now, the small intestine isn't just a long tube. Its walls are lined with millions of tiny, finger-like projections called villi, and even tinier structures called microvilli. Picture a plush carpet, if you will. These villi increase the surface area of the intestine, allowing for maximum absorption of nutrients. It's like a super efficient sponge, soaking up all the goodness from the food you eat. As the food moves through the small intestine, the nutrients are absorbed into the bloodstream. Proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, all these are taken up by the villi and sent off to where they're needed in the body. By the time the food reaches the end of the small intestine, almost all of the nutrients have been absorbed. What's left is mainly water and undigested food particles. But our digestive journey doesn't end here. Almost all nutrients are now absorbed, and the food moves into the large intestine. The large intestine, or colon, may be shorter than the small intestine, but it plays a crucial role. As the final stop in the digestive journey, the large intestine has a critical task: to salvage as much water as possible. That's right, it's like the body's own water recycling plant. The undigested food, now a semi-solid mass, enters the large intestine. Here, it's time to extract the water and electrolytes, ensuring that these valuable resources don't go to waste. Imagine the large intestine as a meticulous worker, carefully sifting through the remnants, pulling out what it can. This process not only conserves water, but also maintains a balance of electrolytes, vital minerals like sodium, potassium, and calcium. These electrolytes are essential for various bodily functions, from nerve signaling to muscle contractions. Once the large intestine has done its job, what remains is a dense, compact waste. This waste, now devoid of much of its water content, is the fecal matter we're all familiar with. The leftovers are now ready to be expelled from the body. Finally, we reach the end of our journey, the rectum and the anus. These two parts play a crucial role in the final stages of digestion. The rectum, a short tube at the end of the large intestine, is where waste material is compressed into a solid form before elimination. It acts as a kind of storage unit, holding on to the waste until it's time for it to leave the body. The anus, on the other hand, is the final exit point for this waste. It's a muscular opening controlled by two sets of sphincters, the inner and the outer. These sphincters work together to allow the waste to pass out of the body when it's time. The inner sphincter is involuntary, while the outer one is voluntary, giving us control over when and where we choose to expel waste. And there you have it, the fascinating journey of your food from entry to exit. Quite a journey, wasn't it? Let's quickly recap. The digestive system is a complex, well-oiled machine that starts working the moment you take a bite. The mouth, with its teeth and saliva, begins the process, breaking down food into smaller, manageable pieces. Then comes the esophagus, the food pipe that uses peristalsis to transport the food to the stomach. The stomach, a muscular bag, mixes the food with stomach acids, turning it into a semi-liquid substance called chyme. Next, the small intestine steps in, absorbing nutrients and passing them into the bloodstream. It's like the unsung hero of your body, working hard to extract what your body needs. The large intestine, on the other hand, is all about conservation. It absorbs water from the remaining indigestible food matter, aiding in the formation of feces. And finally, the rectum and anus, the exit point, expel the waste out of the body. That's your digestive system, working tirelessly to turn food into energy and keep you going. Fascinating, isn't it?